Hey guys, Next Incendiary here, and today we are currently on the Castlevania DBD PTB. I got a bunch of information to get into. We're going to talk about the survivor and the killer, but for each one we're going to start with their lore and their perks with a little bit of gameplay in the background. So without further ado, my friends, welcome in to the Castlevania DBD PTB. Starting with our friend Trevor Belmont, we're going to go through a bit of his bio. So Trevor Belmont, in the year 1476, fear swept the Romanian countryside. Monsters of myth and legend ruled the night. Some said they were commanded by a mysterious member of the nobility, a man who had traded his immortal soul for eternal life, Count Dracula. The besieged villagers begged Trevor Belmont to save them. Trevor, like his ancestors, possessed supernatural powers. Because of those abilities, he was both feared and shunned by the people of Wallachia. But now facing a greater threat, the terrified citizenry beseeched him to eradicate this evil creature. Even as Trevor grappled with his own demons, he dispatched Dracula's minions. He confronted the Count himself in his throne room and defeated him by using the mighty whip passed down to him by his ancestors, the Vampire Killer. With the monster finally dead, Trevor retired to a small home in the hills away from the common people who still regarded him with trepidation. Years later, darkness intruded on his idyllic existence. Nightmares of the undead filled him with dread. Upon hearing rumors of mysterious disappearances in a nearby village, he worried that the Nightwalker had returned. He investigated and heard whispers of a cold, black fog that came in the night, and began to suspect that this evil was something different. Something just as dark and equally dangerous. A sudden premonition filled him with terror. Could his family be in danger? Hurrying back home, he found the village deserted with a thick, black, creeping fog rising from the ground. He reached for his whip only to discover it was gone. Before he realized what was happening, he found himself in a bleak and terrifying dimension of endless gloom. But, lore and bio aside, this is what we're really here for, chat. The perks, what do we have? What do we have? We have 3 beautiful perks, chat. And the perks that we do have are quite fantastic, starting off with Eyes of Belmont. A history of vampire hunting imbues the bloodline with certain abilities. When a generator is completed, the aura of the killer is revealed to you for 3 seconds. Whenever a killer's aura is revealed for a specific amount of time, that time is increased by 2 seconds. Now, when it comes to Eyes of Belmont, I'm actually very concerned about this because one of my favorite perks in the game is called Object of Obsession. Now, whenever a killer's aura is revealed for a specific amount of time, that time is increased by 2 seconds. While with Object of Obsession, every 30 seconds, I get 3 seconds of aura reveal, meaning I have an infinite increment to keep going up. That being said, whenever a generator is completed, that means the aura of the killer could be revealed to me up to 30, 60, heck, a minute and a half for all I know, depending on how long it takes us to get the gens done. And that's pretty exciting in my opinion. And then we have Exaltation. Fortune favors the bold, even in the darkest corners of existence. Stunning the killer with a pallet upgrades your held item rarity to the next tier, then recharges 25% of the item's maximum charges. Rarity is not kept at the end of the trial. The perk does have a 30-second cooldown though. I think this is very, very pog for all your item build gamers. You know, you're going to have a lot of people that are running out there with your Plunderers, your Ace in a Hole, your Appraisal, and now your Exaltation, because they're going to be pulling common or uncommon items, and they're going to get that one stun, and it's going to upgrade. That's huge. Besides that, I also see this being very pog with the Beamer gamers. Now you don't need a green or a purple Beamer. You can go out with your lemon Beamer, and that thing will be lime-scented before you know it. Our third perk for Mr. Trevor is Moment of Glory. A hero should always have the chance to make a comeback. This perk activates after you open or rummage through 2 chests. When you become injured, you also become broken. Automatically heal 1 health state after 60 seconds, then this perk deactivates. This is a beautiful perk in my opinion. This right here is to rival Blood Rush. Blood Rush really wasn't that great of a perk. Wasn't that well thought through. I think in the PTB initially it was pretty pog, but then the nerf that it got really brought it to such a place that it's an unusable perk dang near. Next we have, for our killer, the Dark Lord. Oh my word. The Dark Lord. An inconsolable grief metamorphed into madness after the death of Dracula's beloved. He sought out the fabled Crimson Stone as a way to cheat death, but death trapped his soul inside the stone, granting him eternal life as a vampire. Vlad Tepes Dracula was now the Dark Lord. He slept by day and hunted in the eventide, seeking out the living and stealing their lifeblood. He built a castle in Romania shielded with sinister magic and turned many of the local villagers into the living dead. Dracula's castle became a symbol of terror and despair. His power seemed unassailable, and many perished trying to defeat him as he sowed endless chaos, suffering, and death. In 1476, Trevor Belmont of the Belmont clan ended Dracula's reign with the vampire killer. But the undead never stayed dead for long, and Dracula was resurrected more than once over the centuries to continue his quest for revenge. Last resurrected in 1999, Dracula raised an army of the undead. It took another descendant of the Belmont clan to defeat him, Julius Belmont. In the savage clash known as the Battle of 1999, Julius Belmont took the fight to Dracula's castle and battled the Dark Lord with the same enchanted whip his distant ancestors wielded. Most believe Dracula suffered a true death, a final death, but Dracula didn't die that night. As the vampire killer tore the flesh from his bones, a strange fog rolled across the ancient stone floor. Dracula felt the icy fingers of something or someone beckoning him. The fog engulfed him and transported him to a place where he could continue his dark vengeance against humanity. And then, as always, what you've really been waiting for, the perks. First off, the Dark Lord has dominance. The power you wield over the land strikes terror in the hearts of all who cross you. The first time each totem and each chest is interacted with by a survivor, that totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 8 seconds. Now, I could see this being a very, very strong combination with things such as 1, hoarders, because that interaction would still proxy to get your information, or 2, any kind of hex totem due to the fact that it would be blocked initially. I think this is going to be very popular among hex builds, that's for sure. Our second perk is Hex Wretched Fate. You see your victim from afar and resolve to prolong their suffering. After one generator has been repaired, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem and curses the obsession. The obsession suffers a 33% repair speed penalty. They also see this hex totem's aura when within 12 meters. The effect persists until the hex totem is cleansed. Now, something like this, Hex Wretched Fate, I can see this being a ridiculously nice synergy to a perk that's not used all too often on the killer side, and that's going to be Dying Light. The fact that the obsession will also have a decrease to the repair speed is insane, and I think you will see people running Wretched Fate with Dying Light on release. And for our third perk, we have Human Greed. One can always rely on the avarice of the living and use it to one's advantage. You see the auras of unopened chests and survivor auras are revealed for 3 seconds when they enter an 8-meter range. You gain the ability to kick chests to close them. This ability has a 60-second cooldown. Survivors unlock these chests 50% faster. Now, for something like this, I couldn't see it being super duper valuable. I can see this being good just for the loot hose, you could say. There's definitely going to be a lot of people that see a closed chest and go for it, and then the fact that you open it and you get nothing out of it's going to be kind of sad. I can see this, yet again, comboing very, very well with Hoarders. I think this and Hoarders would be a really nasty combo due to the fact that you're doubling up on your ability to get more Hoarders value. The Dark Lord's power. Vampiric Shift, special ability, Shapeshift. The Dark Lord has access to 3 forms and can freely change between them. Each form has unique abilities and strengths. Vampire Form. In its default state, the Dark Lord can use the powerful Hellfire spell, which creates 7 pillars of flame that travel 7 meters and can be cast across low objects. Wolf Form. In Wolf Form, the Dark Lord has access to several abilities that allow for more effective tracking. Movement speed is increased, blood pools and scratch marks are more apparent, and survivors leave a trail of scent orbs behind them. The Dark Lord can collect these scent orbs to charge a powerful pounce attack. Bat Form. While in Bat Form, the Dark Lord gains the Undetectable status effect. Additionally, he moves faster, ignores vault points, and can teleport to any vault points within 32 meters. Survivors become invisible, but scratch marks can be seen. Now, I find all of this very, very, very attractive. I feel like we got Vecna, and that ability to have multiple powers really set behavior on a trail that they wanted to keep exploring, you know, and I think this is the result of set exploration. I really like the idea of the different forms, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of terrified of Bat Form, because I'm not much of a spirit enjoyer, and the first thing I think about that is mother-daughters. But we'll have to see how it really hits, and realistically speaking, a lot of these perks and powers are subject to change since they are in the PTB, so it'll be really exciting to see how they decide to go about this at the end of the day. What's going to make it to live servers, what's not going to. It'll be interesting to see. But besides that, guys, I appreciate y'all for stopping in. I hope you guys enjoyed the little rundown of the Castlevania PTB. Hope you guys excited for the full release. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day and or night, and maybe I'll catch you in the live stream. Peace, gamers.